Good morning, everyone. Good morning, dandelions. I am so happy to connect with you on this lovely spring day. I don't know about the weather by your house, but I know the weather by my house yesterday, by my apartment, because my home is an apartment, not a house. The weather by my house yesterday was beautiful. The air was warm, the sun was shining. It really felt like things were changing. It doesn't feel like cold winter anymore. It feels like spring. I'm so excited. Are you enjoying the weather? I hope in some small way you can. I know it's very important for us to stay in our homes, but maybe you can open a window. I know I opened my windows yesterday and I smelled that the air smelled differently. Springtime is my favorite time of year. I'm excited for a springtime morning meeting. Are you? Oh, and we have to check on our experiment. But first, we have to do as we always do. We have to sing. We can't forget. Singing makes me feel like we're all together in the classroom. Will you sing with me? Wonderful. I thought it would be funny to carry a note again today while we sing for our morning meeting. I'm going to carry a note. I'm going to sing a word very long, way too long. And at the end of our song, I'd love for you to tell me which note I carried. Listen well. A 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3. Good morning, room C. Good morning, room C. Good morning, good morning, room. Good morning, you've got the whole world in your hands. Did you hear it? Which word did I sing very long? Good morning. That's right. I carried the note when I sang good morning. Very dramatic. All right, nice listening. So today, we have a project talking about how a seed becomes a flower. Because in springtime, we see a lot of flowers about. We don't see a lot of flowers in winter. There's a reason for that, and we're going to talk about it. But first, we have to check on our experiment. Let's check on mine, because mine being an experiment might look different than yours. Actually, it probably will. That's the cool part about it. Will you help me check on mine? Thank you. I need all the help I can get. Experiments are great because they're a great occasion for us to work together and share our ideas and observations. So in our experiment, we're testing what happens to a bean when we put it in water for a whole week. And my prediction was, I wrote it right here, I predict that the bean will change. How it will change, I do not yet know. And we are going to do the part of the experiment today called observation. 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 Observation is just a big word for look closely. Remember when we were detectives and we were looking very closely? When you're doing an experiment, you need to look closely at what you're experimenting with. We're going to look closely at my bean today. I'm going to open the bag. I'm going to take the paper towel out. Oh, good, it's still wet. We want it to be wet all week. And let's take a look. Let's look closely at my bean and see if it looks any different. Whoa! Tell me what you see. What do you observe? That's a great observation. My observation is when I look closely, I notice that there is yellow on the paper towel. And before, the bean was very yellow. I wonder if maybe some of the yellow from the bean went on the paper towel. Oh, and do you see this? This bean it's got a crack in it now. It's got a little crack. Almost as if it opened up. I think I'll take a picture. I'm going to take a picture on my phone of my bean. Why don't you take a minute and take a picture of your bean? We can record our observations by every day taking a photo of our beans. You can do that now or after a video. I'm going to take a picture of my beans because I want to remember what they looked like on day 2 of our experiment. I know what they looked like on day 1. That was yesterday. All right, back to the experiment. I want to make sure that my paper towel is nice and wet and that my plastic bag is very well closed. So I'm going to fix my tape. Fix my tape. I have to get some new tape later. Yeah. I wish I had a zipper bag. I hope you do. Make this project much, much better. But we can still do it without. All right, taping up my experiments, and I'm going to tape it back here under my projection. I have a picture. We looked closely. We made an observation of day 2. And now we're ready to move on. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. Nice morning drink. All right, so today we're going to talk about how a seed grows into a flower. In the wintertime, believe it or not, there are lots of flowers out there. But they're baby flowers. They're seeds, and you can't see them because the seeds are under the ground, in the soil, in the dirt. In the springtime, by the springtime, those seeds have gone through all the steps to grow, and they're already flowers. So today we're going to talk about those steps, how a seed grows into a flower. Miss Michelle is going to draw for you today. Now this drawing project, you can try it at home, but it's a little tricky, and I don't want you to get frustrated. So this is a good time to watch. Maybe you can draw with your family if you like, but this is primarily a watching activity. All right, so I need some specific colors to show the steps of a seed growing into a flower. We call the steps that a seed takes to grow into a flower a cycle. That's right, cycle. The flower cycle. All the steps that the seed takes to grow into a flower is called the flower cycle. So let me see, I want to have a nice bright green because flowers have green and seeds can be brown, so I want a brown, but really I need a good brown for the dirt. And I think actually I'll use kind of yellow for the seed, like the bean that we're doing. So the yellow will be for my bean, and the green will be for my flower, and the brown will be for the soil. And, ooh, I got a nice pink here. There we go. These colors should do perfectly. Alrighty. So first, we have the seed step. So I'm going to draw a seed. Here's my seed. This is the very first step in the life of a flower. In the winter, there are lots of seeds in the soil. We just can't see them. So I'm going to draw the soil. This brown square I'm drawing is the soil. I'm going to shade it in to show that the seed is down in the soil, in the dirt, in the ground. The soil, the dirt, and the ground, they make a really nice home for the seed. Safe. Little squirrels can't get in. And it's cozy. All right, so here's the first step, the seed in the soil. So after the seed has been in the soil for a while and the sun shines on him and maybe the snow falls on the ground and the rain falls on the ground and it makes the soil nice and wet and the seed gets food, the seed starts to change a little bit. Draw the same seed. Seed looks the same mostly in the next step. It's still yellow, probably. But all of a sudden, something will happen to the seed. Boop. Start to grow another part. Something green. We call this step in the steps the seed takes to be from growing into a flower, a sprout. Say hello, sprout. So first, the flower is a seed. Second, the flower is a sprout. Can you wave hello to my sprout? Hello, sprout. Now the sprout is still in the soil. So I'm going to draw the soil. Here we go. The sprout is still in the soil. I'm going to draw the soil around because that sprout is growing nicely. Look, the seed has a little sprout, a little bit of green growth. Maybe that will be the flower's stem or the flower's leaf or the flower's root. The flower has many parts, and that sprout is going to be one of them. First is the seed, second is the sprout. That's right. All right, now I'm going to draw more parts. I hope you can see everything well, guys. All right. The next step, as the flower grows, is going to look very different. So the sprout didn't look too different. Just a little bit of green. Now you're going to see something very different. So we still, in the next step, still pretty much have the seeds. And the seed is still in the ground, in the soil. I'm going to draw the soil. Yes, yes, yes. There's the soil all around the seed. But after a little more time and after drinking a little more water and soaking in a little more sun, this sprout gets really strong and it shoots up. It shoots up. Look at that. And now the flower is a seedling. A seedling. Can you say hello to my seedling? Hello, seedling. So first, we just had a seed. Then the seed had a sprout. And now the flower is a seedling. Look, the sprout got stronger and stronger, and it pushed up above the soil. Let me use some blue to draw the sky so you can see that the sprout is above the soil. I'm going to draw a weird blue sky here for you. Yes! So by the time that the flower is a sprout or a seedling, you can see this seedling. We see a lot of this in early spring. We see a lot of seedlings around. And that seedling actually may have something special on there called a bud. We talked about this word before. That seedling may have a bud. Say hello, bud. A bud is the smallest part of the flower's petals. See the little pop of color? The bud is the seedling of the flower. It's the beginning of the beautiful part of the flower. It's kind of oval shaped, and it's just peeking out to say hello. But it needs more of that spring rain before it becomes a flower. So first, we have our seed. That's right. Second, we have a sprout. Third, we have a seedling with a bud. Great thinking, boys and girls. Now, the very last step in our flower cycle is think about it. If we're talking about how a seed becomes a flower, what's the last step? A flower. The last step is our favorite step, a flower. So now, boys and girls, by this time, the seed is probably gone. The seed is probably gone. It's probably broken out into what we call roots. Inside the seed before, there were roots. And now these roots got too big. So the roots are under the ground in the soil still. And I'll show you that. Here's the brown soil. There we go. Brown soil is still protecting the roots, still keeping them safe, just like when they were in the seed. There we go. You see these yellow roots? Everybody say, hello, roots. And now on our last step, we go from a seedling. Our seedling gets really strong and beautiful. Make it thicker and be a stem. And it has beautiful leaves on it. Say hello, stem. Stem holds the flower up. Hello, leaves. All right, and that stem was probably a little taller. And now, before we had a bud, the flower's color was just poking up a little bit. But now, in the last step, it's a big, beautiful flower. Hey! The last step is the flower. And here are the petals. Say hello, petals. The petals are the colorful part of the flower. See, the flower grows above ground. I'm going to draw blue for the sky so you can see that the flower is not in the ground. It's in the sky. The flower is the last step in the cycle. And this is what we see in the spring. The roots are underground, under the soil, in the brown soil, and the stem and the leaves and the petals are all above the ground so we can see them and enjoy them in beautiful springtime. All right, now I need your help. I'm going to do something fun. I drew the steps of the flower cycle. All of these steps together are the flower cycle. The steps that a flower takes to grow. The first step is the seed. The second step is the sprout. The third step is the seedling. And the last step is the flower. I'm going to be tricksy. Woo! I'm going to cut the steps of our flower cycle out. Ooh, I'm going to need your help to put them in the right order. Will you help me? All right. Let's see. I'm going to mix up all my steps. Mix them up, the steps of my flower cycle. All right. Let's see. What do you think? Take a close look. Which step goes first? I want to put all of these in order. Which step goes first? I think I'm going to cut them a little more. I'm going to trim my cards here. Trim. I'm going to cut a little bit more so they all fit. While I'm trimming my cards, look carefully. How can we put these cards, these steps of the flower cycle, in order? I'm also trying to think of which is your first. So this is my right. I do left to right, so that's okay. Which step goes first? Here is the sprout. Is the sprout the first step in the flower cycle? No, silly. What's the first step, boys and girls? That's right, the seed. The seed is the first step. Say hello, seed. Let's put the seed first in line. Alrighty. And what's the second step? Which step comes after the seed? Does the flower come after the seed? No. Does the bud come out? Does the seedling and the bud come after the seed? No. Does the sprout come after the seed? Yes. See, they look so similar. The sprout is a second step. First, seed. Second, sprout. All right, and what about the third step? Which step comes right after the sprout? Is the flower next? No. Is the seedling next? You got it. There we go. Seed, sprout, seedling, and then finally there's the flower. Yay! We did it. We put all of the steps in the flower cycle in order. seed, sprout, seedling, and flower. I'm excited because tomorrow we're going to learn how to write the first letters of all these steps. Awesome. My super duper challenge to you all is I am going to share a picture of the steps of another plant cycle. And I encourage you, if possible, you can print these. If you don't have a printer, you can draw them and cut them, and you can arrange them in the order of their cycle. Are you ready for that challenge? I'm sure you can do it. Thank you for learning about the flower cycle with me today, boys and girls. I can't wait for tomorrow to learn how to write some letters, the first letters in our steps of the flower cycle, and I can't wait to see what happens to our experiment on day 3. Until then, let's sing our goodbye song. I think I'm going to carry another note. Listen closely and see which note I carry. A 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3. Goodbye, farewell to you, my friends. So long for now. Until we meet again, I said good, fair to my, so long for now, until we meet again. Which word did I sing very long? That's right. Now. I carried the note. It's a fun way to sing. All right, boys and girls, I'll see you today in our sing-along. I can't wait. Bye.